Hello and welcome to World Talks here on TVP World with me, Ashim Kumar. On September the 14th, North Rhine-Westphalia, Germany's most populous state, went to the polls in crucial local elections, with nearly 14 million eligible voters choosing mayors, councils and district leaders. While Chancellor Friedrich Merz's CDU held its ground, the far-right AfD more than tripled its share, winning 16.5%, a historic breakthrough in Western Germany. The vote is seen as both a regional turning point and a national test for Germany's political future. Joining us to explore the implications of this result is Rolf Nikel, former German ambassador to Poland. Ambassador Nikel, welcome back to TVP World and thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you very much. Welcome from Berlin.
Thank you. So, your initial reaction to the results, a tripling of AfD's showing. The Christian Democrats have stayed pretty much where they were originally in the polls, according to the projected results. What's going on?
Well, first of all, one should say it's a local election. It's a test of the mood of the population, and one should not exaggerate the meaning of this. Now, clearly, the Christian Democrats held the ground. They even gained a few points, if one can say that at that time. Still very early in the counting. The SPD, the Social Democratic Party, lost and actually came in with the worst result in this federal state since 1946. The AfD tripled, which is of course worrisome, but again, one should not exaggerate. It's 16%. That's too much, of course, but it will not change too much of the situation on the national level, even on the regional level. In some cases, on the local level, there may be tight races, but even in cities or councils in which the AfD comes in very strongly, there is a strong movement on the part of the other parties to avoid them to lead any major cities. So I don't foresee any AfD strong role in one of the major cities. They may show strong, but they will not govern the city. And it's a city or a local council or district. It's not the local level. But you're right, it's in the West, and in the West, the AfD has been historically weak. It's getting stronger, and that is, of course, also a cause of worrying for
what's behind
leaders.
this change in its strength, this strengthening of the AfD? What's going on at grassroots level, Ambassador?
Well, I think, first of all, there is the economy. The economy has not been growing since 2019. We have gone down during the pandemic. It's been not really good afterwards. So that is a strong point. And of course, also migration is an important point in this. And the AfD is really making progress because of that. The figures for immigration have gone down, no question, but there's still a huge wave of migrants already in the country, and they have to be taken care of. And I think that those two elements are the most worrisome.
Right,
and actually fuel the AfD strength.
Understood. Now, is that something that the Chancellor should pick up on and perhaps focus on in upcoming future elections?
Well, of course, the center parties that includes, of course, Chancellor Merz, but also others have to be aware of that. And there's a debate ongoing in Germany whether the AfD should be prohibited. Our National Office for the Protection of the Constitution has qualified the AfD as right to the extreme of the right. And that has been confirmed. So there is this debate ongoing. Can you prohibit this party? But then at the end of the day, it's a political contest, and the center parties that are the strength of the Federal Republic of Germany have to do things and have to conduct a policy which keeps them low. But it's very difficult because they have already now gained strength, and we will have regional elections next year in Sachsen-Anhalt, and that will be more worrisome than what we've seen today, because in the East the AfD is much stronger than in the West. So yes, you're right. The federal government, the parties, the center parties that constitute really the strength of the Federal Republic, have to be aware of that and draw the necessary conclusions, which they've already done. I mean, with the migration strengthening of the law and migration controls. So they're doing what they can, but whether it's enough, we will see.
Right. Now, I want to talk about the Greens. They've lost a huge amount of their support. I think we've probably got some numbers to show. Since 2020, why are people turning away from the Greens?
Well, first of all, you're right. The Greens lost about nearly 8%. That is very important, a very important figure. And I think it's partly true to the fact that they have had a change of leadership. The ideas that the Greens defend are not so important anymore, or not considered to be that important by the population, and so that all comes together, and they have now a very tough time. They are not part of the government coalition in Berlin, but they are part of the so-called center, which carries the strength of the republic. So it's worrisome that they lost, but I think they will have to think more about what they will defend now, because the real green issues are not considered to be as important as they were a couple of years ago.
So they've been pushed down the priority list a little bit. Now, I want to ask you about voter turnout. Nearly 59%, and that's an increase. What is it that is getting people more engaged in local politics? And is this a bellwether for national elections and regional elections that are coming up?
That may very well be the case, but remember, the last elections 5 years ago were already under pandemic conditions, and so things were more difficult. So 58% for Germany is not that high. We have seen on the national level, we've seen sometimes 60-70% of the vote, of the participants. So I would say that this is something that has to be reckoned with, that people are paying attention, and from a point of view of democracy, it's a good thing that people feel that they need to participate and they feel that their vote is important. So I'm actually satisfied with that, but we have to take that, or the leaders have to take that into consideration now.
Right. I want to move on to the deaths of a number, 16, I believe, of a number of AfD candidates. Now, I know that the authorities have said that there is no foul play involved. But do you think that underneath all that there is an effect on voter sentiment?
I'm not sure. It's difficult. It's difficult to say. Again, this is a local election, and there are very many different situations on the local level. Whether you vote in a big city like Duisburg, or whether or Düsseldorf, or whether you vote in a rural area. So it's very hard to say actually what is important, has been important in this specific area. But the AfD has to be addressed, and in my view, that's my personal view. They should be addressed more forcefully. We'll see whether that happens.
Now, in terms of the bigger picture, Germany's position within the European Union, do you think this is going to make any particular difference to the way that Germany engages with the EU, or its foreign policy, for example, with regard to support for Ukraine?
I don't think these elections will change anything on that, in that matter. With this new government, well, it's actually not that new anymore. 4 months. You can debate whether that's new or not. So, but this government has actually reinforced the support for Ukraine. And we've been also very much forthcoming with respect to the drone attack on Poland. We have now decided to send more aircraft to protect the eastern flank of NATO. So I think Chancellor Merz and his government coalition is very strong on this matter. I don't think that the result, which for the CDU wasn't that bad. I mean, they gained a little bit according to what we know now. So I don't foresee any changes in the foreign policy of this coalition. This is a test of the mood, a local mood, regional mood, and it came out better actually than many pundits had assumed earlier on. So we shouldn't be too worried about any changes in that.
Understood. Ambassador Nikel, as always, thank you very much for sharing your analysis with our audience. Have a good evening, sir.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of World Talks. Don't go away, though. Lots more coming up. Goodbye.